Hi there, Michael André Ford, San Antonio, Texas. Your American Angel Intuitive, or just the guy who tries not to tell you anything, but still has to talk for hundreds of hours, whether as a guest on a show or as a show host. Um, I like to try to present experiences with the universe. There's a slight bit of blowback once in a while. The spiritual community is very complex, just like any other industry. All I try to do is provide a direct experience with loving figures. There's a huge group out there that all is one. It's just one giant consciousness. It's not possible that angels exist or your relatives, or if they do, it's just more important we focus on a bigger consciousness. I try not to tell anybody anything. There's trillions of people, trillions of consciousness layers in both directions. I simply help a person by holding the space, get any answers to any questions, all languages spoken, all dialects, plus angels and many other loving figures from all different quadrants, all love and above. They know how to navigate your personality. And remember, we just said there are a trillion plus personalities. They know how to navigate it all to get you information. Now, the last time I checked, if you're an American, it's modern day. That's the number one thing out there. There isn't a lot of desire. It's all about knowing, getting your answers. Yes, feeling more inner calm, inner peace. That's certainly a good secondary byproduct. And this is all about love. So it's all the classic seeking stuff, all the religions, all the cultures combined, whether it's India, Nepal, Tibet, Latin American shamanic practices, again, jaguar spirit or jaguar mama, Native American practices. And with all those different all the different religions, as long as they're positive, they're not about conquering the world or causing mass harm to entire population groups. Since there's so much censorship today, I'll be careful on how I phrase everything. This is strictly about love. It's about the universe literally stepping in. I know there's no interference. And a second thing, free will. That's absolutely the case. It's why what will you allow for is super interesting. I have been doing this for 15 years, and you can catch a person on one day, they're wide open, they're getting their answers, they're getting hugs, they're full on seeing, and you can go to the point where you get that loving figure in human form, full on. That's a little more rare. You can do it with your eyes closed, of course. You can do it as a group. I'm off the hooks. I took photos of angels as well, so I'm really off the hook. But I might as well be talking Swahili right now in an American audience. Again, I've been doing this for 15 years. So there are photos of angels. You can meet angels. There's 1,000 ways to see angels as a butterfly made out of light, as a little bit of light on your ceiling. There's a few folks out there, it's only been a few in 10 plus years that view it as sort of gadgetry or something like that. I'm very enthusiastic. I love telling dad jokes. I just try to help a person get out of their head what they know long enough to just be. And once you're here, you're in that stillness, and from that comes all your experiences. So it's direct interaction with the universe. I can think of no higher experience than pure love. Healing comes from the hugs. You get a hug, the very first hug might just feel like a goosebump, a light whoosh, yummy in the tummy, something down your back, a wind in the room, 1,000 ways to get a hug. But as you get confidence and kind of forget that I'm even here, I don't see your questions. I don't see your answers anymore. I don't do that. I try to stay out of all the details. I try to power down as much as possible. I try not to know too much about the person anymore. Try not to know too much afterwards because you can have any reaction afterwards. Even if the goods are delivered, you meet angels, you meet light beings, you meet a Pleiadian, you meet a Lyran, you meet your great aunt, you meet your aunt, your passed over pooch, or you just talk to your third grader, your dog. I have one sitting right behind me right now, and you hear your dog or a tree. It can be a lot for the human psyche. The ego can come riding right back in and tell you, hey, that didn't just happen. Or two Tuesdays later, you're shut down. I have a lot of guests who can't show up on the show, maybe 75, 100 over 3.25 years. It's all good. I've had every type of reason for the person not being able to come on. We've only had to pull one video, and we've only had one video that we had to toss out and then retape where the person accidentally caught a little sage and felt my energy through the screen. Now, for most of the guests, that would be no big deal. For most of the audience who's watched more than two shows in the last 3.25 years, it's two baby steps. It's no big deal. I'm sure there are a few people out there that view, smelling a little bit of lit sage as some sort of difficulty, but it's just being one with all. It's really your heart catching the scent of sage, but you don't have to light anything. You can just ask a Native American chief to bring you sweetgrass, desert piñol, pine, juniper, Douglas fir. You get the idea. One of 60 sacred traditional scents, so tobacco and so on. Um, Again, what I love about this particular role, and I haven't seen anybody doing it like this, is you don't have to listen to me. I've got really not much to tell you. Anything that has sounded sharp that I've either read on air, my favorite quotes right there. And I love reading quotes on air. It's usually angels, Native American chiefs, MLK, Mandela, Mother Teresa, whoever. And for those who worry about Mother Teresa, she's reconciled. So if you've done a lot of bad things in your life, there's a chance you'll be reconciled as soon as you cross over and you've cleared out, let's say, you're operating at a frequency of love and above. My mom and dad passed over in 1970 and 1992 when I was respectively about 2 and turning 23. It was their time to go in both instances, and it was somehow angels have told me because of those experiences, it's partially how I'm able to help people here today. I definitely do a little bit of channeling or psychic stuff or whatever you want to call it. I've said stuff on air before others say it or what they're thinking or something like that. It's more than synchronicity. Um, but again, I've learned to try to turn that off because my belief is everyone has a really big heart, and pick any healer out there of any persuasion, whether we're talking hands-on healing or just listening on your behalf to tell you something, or all that knowledge that people are pushing today through institutes, organizations, this group, that group. There's 30,000, 100,000, 400,000 organizations that want a piece of your brain time and probably to help you here as well. The mindfulness crowd, meditation crowd, transcendental meditation. I've just found it's a little bit like cycling at times. It can be a tight-knit group. Trying to break in is a little difficult. Even runners can be a little difficult. I've been running for 44 years. I do find the runners I've run into are always generally friendly. I try to say hi to everybody. Um, and so where I'm going with all this is the launch pad. It's your heart. It's what Seth said. The light being, you can meet him from the 1970s, Jane Roberts. He said it's not going to be found externally, that reality that you all seek or the seeking that you're doing. It's going to be found through the world you know, through your heart into a broader reality. And that's what you get to touch. And that's what can shake things up a little because usually you go in, your concrete knowing, whether it's good concrete knowing, you're a professional healer for 50 years. You've been doing A, B, and C, and X, Y, and Z professionally. Doesn't mean you can't do G, H, and I, or M, N, and O. There's always growth and expansion. The human brain, our ego, our roles, our perceived notions all say otherwise. And that's just human nature. So, yeah, there's no winning or losing here. It's all of us getting to move past the seeing the negative. So what's fun is that regardless of the human condition, there's still people stepping up almost daily for 15 years to meet and engage with the universe, with angels, loving beings, light beings. Hundreds of figures. Plus, you all have your own cheerleading squad. So, getting a little more definition on that front is awesome. There's also a small group that'll say, I don't have any questions. And those are the best. They can seem like it's the most difficult, but they actually are wide open. And then they can go ahead and hear what the angels actually have for them. There's always a long laundry list of stuff that they need to hear. So if you don't have any questions, perfect. Why not just go ahead and hear what your advisors have had for you for months or years? And it's a long laundry list of stuff they're happy to share with you. You just have to do basic listening. In this day and age, with the advent of cell phones, TV, and so much knowing going on, it's like the Indy 500 or Daytona 500. Um, there's little room for just organic listening and being and breathing, and then happiness, joy, enthusiasm, some sparkle. You can meet Audrey Hepburn. She's half grace and half sparkle in the moment. You can see a photograph move. Her photo is great to use. Photographs we know can't move. The brain is absolutely correct in that. But the last time I checked, most people are letting their heart do the seeing, and then you get a wink, a smile, shoulder waggle, eyebrow goes up, the photograph moved. So the mind is a pretty convincing thing. A couple good book sales, a couple good events as a speaker, and you're off to the races. But and time can fly. But I guess what I'm saying is there's something bigger going on that still hasn't happened yet, where mankind gets to experience more compassion, more kindness, more gentleness. And I guess it's easier for someone just off the street who's never heard of Oprah Winfrey's Super Soul Sunday, never heard of spirituality, never heard of angels, to kind of make us all look like rookies. The last time I checked, if you just grab somebody in the middle of their day, they can do full on hearing, seeing, and feeling like a champ and not think twice about it and be very grateful. That's probably the most special type of person. Now, again, 2 weeks later, they can be breaking dishes and upset. And then 3 weeks after that, or 2 years after that, they're wide open again. I think it's just endless fluctuation. Where are you putting yourself? How are you letting externalities run the show? Or how are you letting your ego run the show? So, any discomfort is ego. Angel said that one. I believe that to be absolutely the case. But I've also found you can't tell anybody anything. So no matter what the situation is, it's always better not to speak up. Just let it go. Let everybody be correct, and just keep moving forward. Take your steps where you can. So with that, I'm going to take some steps here for you. Light some sage. I'll put up an angel photo. I'll show some light on my hands. The only thing I can't do at the current moment is levitate. And I think if I was levitating, it would only cause more questions and consternation. But there are no limits in life. You can have any answers to any questions. I'd like us all to think about that, what the implications are. And I'll quote Archangel Uriel: if more people would listen, less conflict would result in any given situation. And we know the world could use a lot less conflict, especially the way we're learning that it truly is structured with all the global slipstreams of unconsciousness, complexity, and worse, and what's happening behind the scenes to a portion of mankind, humanity, that's no bueno. Uh, the good news is love is very big. There's a very big plan. Whether you believe in galactic federations or galactic councils or this council, that council at a galactic cosmic level, whether you just believe in angels or the unifying consciousness of all, um, there's practical and tactical help to be had from just clearing out. You've been around too many people at a mall, a movie theater, you've had too many hugs in a closed space, and you are a sponge for other people's energy. So you picked up a lot of heaviness, complexity, negativity. You can get that cleared out. I use sage to clear my house, but you can also just ask Archangel Michael, Uriel, etc., to do it for you. There's some people who are really good at that. Some people whistle. I'm going to just light some sage in sort of a ceremonial way. It's Juniper Ridge Sage. I have that on my website. Amazon has that program. I'm not sure if I've ever gotten paid doing it, but I've been doing it, I think, a year, 6 months. You get like a dime if somebody buys the sage online. So just a heads up with that. It doesn't add to your cost in any way. They take it out of theirs. So I'm going to light some sage. I only have one rule across everything, and that's set your intent. I could look vacuous or stutter, but I'll get the message out. So set your intent. Ask angels to get you out of your head into your heart, and just allow, allow, allow. No try Yoda. I love doing Yoda's voice, but Archangel Gabriel said always try. So Yoda said no try. Archangel Gabriel said always try. They're both correct. There's no contradiction. It's just like there's no right or wrong. There's proper understanding. It's up to you to figure out what the proper understanding is. It's up to you to figure out the difference of being up here and when you're up here versus down here. Again, any discomfort on anything is just ego, and it's okay to have ego. It's not going away. Thinking's not going away for any of us. As one angel named Charlotte said, it's 10% less thinking a day. That's the Olympic gold medal for us all. And I have a little listening to Angels book. It would take 15 to 20 minutes to read. It's been number one twice now in 2025, thanks to a coast to coast AM appearance with George Nuri. I saw balls of light as I was typing. And so I have a picture of two angels, these two angels, but these aren't the photos that I put on the cover. There's no one way with the photos either. I have two metallic balls of light that are these two that are the cover. You can just see that at Amazon or on my website, michaelandreford.com. The book's now $7.99. It was $3.99 for like 10 years, and Angels finally let me raise the price. I think I make a few bucks off each book. But so it was number one twice last year, thanks to being on Coast to Coast AM with George Nuri. It was my second time on. The first time, I didn't know how to check the rankings, so I know that I was second with the book twice in Angels back in like 2023, I think. So it was number two twice, but also I wasn't checking every day. I had no idea how that worked. It's a super short book, electronically speaking. There's a foreword that's like 6 pages, 6 paragraphs, sorry, 6 paragraphs, 30-second read. It's beautiful. 1.5 page intro, and then 5 pages how to, maybe six, including a little introduction for each of the seven angels that stepped forward, including Archangel Michael, providing their photos, real photos um, of them in light energy form. You can just close your eyes, see them one way. You can open your eyes and see them another. It's again, what will you allow for? Most folks that I know, there's just a bunch of invisible limits. And so I'm the guy who comes in tap dancing, cane, top hat, tell dad jokes. I find ways to help you let go and enjoy seeing light all around you. It doesn't have to be auras between your fingers, like out of the movie Celestine Prophecy, or in India, they do it this way. Um, but it works. You can see light off of a lit Bic lighter. You can see light off my finger. You can see my aura. You can see an aura on your dog. I mean, that's my job, is to keep figuring out ways to get around all the brick. Everyone's an Acme brick factory, including me. I'm building bricks all the time. It's called thinking. And each thought puts a brick into a wall, and the walls get bigger and bigger. Your job is freedom itself. I'm quoting an angel named, I think, Sarah. Freedom happens when walls are removed. Hope I got the right angel on that one. Okay, I'm going to light some sage. Just ask angels, hey, angels, get me out of my head into my heart. Help me smell a little sage with my heart. Amen. Rock and roll. Om Sai Ram. Amen. Whichever way you roll, it's got to be you setting your intent. You have to take all your steps. I can spend 6 hours with you for what that amount of time for when other people taking the same basic steps. It takes them 15 minutes. It doesn't matter about the other folks. You can only go at your pace. So at least try to acknowledge where you're at. Like, still not ready to smell sage yet. That's perfectly healthy. But this is also no big deal. It takes 2 seconds. So I'm going to light it. I'm going to blow it with a red-tailed hawk feather. And just allow. If you need to envision angels pushing this through two screens, time and space don't exist the way we think they do. You know this from class, you know it from vacation. When a 1 hour class went by in 15 minutes or felt like 3 hours, the professor was slow. Or that vacation for 2 weeks that went by in 3 days, or the vacation for 2 weeks that felt like all summer. Either way, time can speed up, it can slow down. It's a function of being here. Okay, catch a little bit of sage, no triota. I'll tell you one dad joke. What's the only flower found on the human face? Tulips. And iris is another one. If you're super intellectual out there, you got that one too. Okay, catch a little sage, play it over again. I do this on all my different shows whenever I remember, which is about 80, 90% of the time. You can watch other people catching the sage. It's not always sage. I always say, why settle for linear when you can have first sage, then flowers, then ocean, then visually, why wouldn't you want to get glitter? Why wouldn't you want to get a symphony of light that comes in from the galaxy, from all your relatives, your relations, your friends, your acquaintances, celebrating joy, love, spontaneity in the moment? If there are really no limits in life, perhaps there are no limits. Every adult that I've met along this path, 99% of us, including yours truly, we do a little too much adulting. We take ourselves a little too seriously. I find it no different between the scientific fields out there and then the spiritual community, or politicians and military types. But it doesn't mean there aren't human beings who are still snubbing it out. It doesn't mean that there aren't people who are staying open 25% of their day, 50% of the day. It's like a twister wheel. You're just catching somebody at the right time, right place, and then bam, they're getting to see Jesus full on, hear a few words, get a hug. Archangel Michael, Mother Teresa, Sri Shirdi Sai Baba from India, Vishnu, Krishna, Ganesh, Lakshmi, or a Native American chief, or I always do angels before I do passed over loved ones or pets. most of the time. So this is big. This is many miracles. There's healing to be had, but that discussion, I don't hear about your condition. You have that discussion with angels. So you have a discussion where you lay it out. I mean, I try to help a person. There's a complaining segment where you can do a but and throw your best resistance to an angel, and you'll feel a lot better. They'll chuckle and help you shift your perspective so you can move above and beyond the situation you find yourself in and find a broader perspective that was always there, waiting for you to just expand in your consciousness to appreciate why you are where you are and for so long. I think Wayne Dyer had that quote, the things you look at change when you change the way you look at things. So that's what angels directly help you do. They have a discussion about your situation, whether it's your heart, you're this, you're that. Um, I think if you look closely at the shows or equivalent of testimonials, you'll find a few folks talking publicly about their healing they received from angels. I just set it up. I didn't know that they had a condition healed at the time. You can see my shock on one show when I learned what it is. Yeah, so it's hard to picture no limits, but it's true no limits to me. There's no higher experience than meeting your advisors, your cheerleaders, the angels or other figures you may have spent time with concurrently in past concurrent lives. If it's an interdimensional thing and you want to talk about time being split 4 million ways every second, you may be interacting with those folks in sort of a parallel dimension, not to make this too complex, but it's experiencing all like many, many, many dimensionalities of love that are in you and around you. And it's the more you can kind of go through your chakras into something broader. It's allowing your Kundalini flow to connect to all there is. It's allowing your rainbow light body to explode or to activate. I've got a lot of that lingo that it's a little complex for me, but after 10, 15 years of hearing it, I'm a little more comfortable with all this. Same thing with galactic figures. Had you told me I was going to be meeting galactic figures like 10 or 15 years ago, I probably would have run for the hills. Angels started sharing some of their galactic backgrounds. She's from Orion, full on angel today. Not really that important for details. You can ask her directly about her past. This one, my guardian angel, a full silhouette of her. I've got her different ways. On my website, you get it on the front page. I think it's double overlapping white balls of light. Always joke though when it's overlapping like that, the wings are out. She's very watery, light waves of energy and water, like a mother Hawaii. Brings you an ocean smell. If your eyes are closed, you can see her on a SUP, stand-up paddleboard. And she's from Sirius originally. Joy, very first angel I always do, high emotional, peppy voice. Comes across as a 28-year-old blonde most of the time at Omega Institute 2022. Two or three people, women wanted to see her as brunette. They saw her as brunette. I only heard that years later. But she's cosmic in background, like archangels. So it's no one way. Spirit guide Plato, if you want to see the old man's face, the philosopher's face, he doesn't mind me saying that. He's super crystal clear, great for life stages. Again, mustache, eyes. Here, I'll do this if you're having any difficulty. I use a historical photo for Audrey Hepburn, great angel. Four archangels, three are cropped off camera down below, Zadkiel, Shamiel, Jophiel. I rarely use those guys unless it's in a bigger photo that I have over my house from 10 or 12 years ago. And I bring that one out. There's fairies, elementals, or a jinn, unconditional love and above. A lot of photographs. I try not to just totally bomb every show with photographs, but what I like is the shows are unofficially testimonials. I've kind of backed off in collecting those as much. 95% of guests take some sort of step, catching sage, seeing light, listening to an angel. They do it off camera, on camera. To me, it's all the same. Uh, yeah, and guests do it together as well. So I truly feel like it's a special role. People get what they need. Generally, it's asking a lot, and you are doing the opening openness. You're doing the openness. You're doing the being here that you would attribute to a trek to India to go to an ashram. But instead of 12 years in an ashram or 6 months, you can kind of get it done in an hour or two. Why not? You can experience more love. It might shake things up a little. Sometimes it causes a rippling effect, but it does help your life get sorted out. Again, I think the only pitfall is thinking you know something. out there. And I love the fact that I'm like hopefully hyper vacuous. If it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, there's like five things I think I know. Angels exist. Trust that this is so. Your answers, your hugs, and much more will come. Where you put your focus is where you put your focus. How you spend your energy is how you spend your energy. This is fun to do. It's just about love. You're not, it can seem scary. I've seen a lot of people run for the hills. If I've got 300 and I'll guess 11 shows out on the main show, Angels, Positivity, and Love on YouTube, and I've got another 112 of the APL Spotlight series, both, go up over time. I've got shows on both ends to keep releasing, and I've got 76 now of these solo talking. If I didn't have to talk solo, I could just be doing. I think that would be the coolest. I push light through the screen or push energy, whatever you feel, what you feel. We just had an incredible panel. Mind, Body, Spirit panel number 26. So 26 of those. We just aired one of those like yesterday or the day before. A woman in Germany, two women in California. One's a neuroscientist, PhD. One's a doctorate or a doctor of psychology, total healer. The three of them got to do a lot of stuff jointly, and it was beautiful. So there's joint seeing, feeling, hearing. It doesn't have to be through Zoom. I don't get to see people in person as much right now. Angels say this is about to, expand a lot more. So it's really what are you bringing in? For most of us, this is a lot to ask for. I'm a generally a high energy guy. Right now, I'm trying to keep it tamped down massively just to do some basic communicating. I'm a very happy-go-lucky person, love doing my running, gardens, and down to one dog now. My Joy, who's named after the angel Joy, crossed the Rainbow Bridge October 10th, but she's around. She just brushed somebody's leg in our house. She's in our dreams, and so on. So love that. I'll put up Audrey Hepburn's photo and just get what you can get for an experience. What will you allow for? Ask angels to get you out of your head into your heart. Ask her to bring you a perfume or flower smell. And here's Audrey. Let her move, wink, smile, shoulder waggle. Um, Ask a question, get an answer, get a hug. The simplest question in the world is, hey, what do I need to know in life right now, Audrey? And just listen. It'll sound like your voice. Go ahead and hit pause on this. It'll sound like your voice coming back at you, but the second you let go, you get actual personality. The last thing in the world the ego wants to do, it's got a clipboard. It might have agreed with, one out of 10 things that I said or everything. And then we'll start next week. Next week will never come. It's a Julie McCoy of Love Boat. So the ego kind of rolls the roost. That's okay. It's all of us. Or delays or waters everything down or misses the entire point of the exercise. I've had a few of those lately. Um, so you get to meet Jesus. You get to meet Mary. You get to meet Buddha, Kuan Yin, Muhammad. You get to meet the archangels. You can do God. I don't get to advertise God very much. I don't get to do God very much. You got to be really loosey-goosey. And then the way I would describe God, I don't think I've had anybody do a visual of God. It just never even occurred to me, but that I should see what happens or what the reaction is when an angel says, yeah, that's not going to happen. I don't know. You can ask her. It's just everything at once speaking in a nice way and a lot of love, very special. Nature, trees, whether you're seeing or feeling nature or you're hearing a tree, not every tree is going to speak to you, but birds too. It's just special. Now, this is about compassion and love, about more gentleness, about letting go of the rat race. I think the rat race is everything external for us, whether we know it or not. I'm going to just read a little passage and start to wrap this up. It's just a little, I'm popping on for just 30 minutes. But here's, yeah. What's up with mankind? Why angels now? Awareness for mankind is on the horizon. Call it a spiritual awakening if you wish. It's a chance for all to grow. Mankind is ready for more unconditional love and compassion for all. And more compassion by all for all is needed. Mankind is ready for change from rat race mode. Happiness is obtained in the absence of ego. Ego is afraid to be vulnerable, to let go, and to be in the unknown. Again, there's nothing to do or nothing to lose, nothing to gain, Move past seeing the negative. Can't believe I remember that. This is the voice of collective angels. I saw balls of light as I was typing. If anyone thinks I came up with this, thank you. You're amazing. I'll type the emojis and say thank you to you in the comment page. Compassion can be taught through one's actions. How? Slowing down would do a world of wonder for most people. Doing it consistently is where the problems and opportunities lie. So stay present. Start right now. Letting go means less thinking. Do not get lost in perceived tasks, roles, ego, etc. Being in the moment is to do compassion for all. For individuals, an egoless path would be great, but it's just not realistic. Allow ego to serve as a reminder when it pops up, a reminder for what you decide. How about a reminder to breathe? How about a reminder to enjoy each moment as it comes? Believe that all moments can be the same. Whether it's a moment at work or a moment looking at nature, all moments are the same and peaceful. Only thinking something can interfere with this. Likewise, there are not separate paths for mankind or separate worlds for individuals. One is one. Through awareness and owning the consequences of one's thoughts and actions, a person begins to see how all of life is truly interconnected and one. Faith in all can lead to a change in mankind. This is the path for all of man. This is about man bringing peace and joy to all. This is about your personal growth in your life and finding the next stage in your soul's development, as well as the continued evolution of mankind. The greatest gift is allowing all is growth and change. I'll add personally, always. This is frightening to some. There's nothing to do here. Slow down the doing instead. Breathe, smile, and relax. Appreciate all. Compassion for all is life. This is also about acceptance for all. Regard others as yourself generously and without fixation. Believe in all. It is much simpler than people think. Again, this is because this is not about thinking, but less thinking. Open yourself up to life. Speak with us. Be. And that's speak with us, angels. So they exist, and they'll come through at any level. Just a little bit of light, a butterfly made out of light, a hummingbird hovering right in front of you out of light, light in the sky, see Audrey Hepburn across the street through a window in your neighbor's driveway. But if you're at a Walmart and you're scared, the brain wants her this big, the whole end of the Walmart, you'll see a little figure waving. You can close your eyes and be on a beach in Hawaii. I've been doing that for a year or two or three or four or five. You can see at the end of the beach, you can have Joy come in, ready to go kite surfing, Archangel Michael next to her, Mary, Jesus, and then your aunt or sister who's passed over. It's just what will you allow for? And let's take out the spirituality. Let's take out the angels. Take out me doing this the whole time. What are you allowing for daily? Are you having enough fun? There's a few people out there who absolutely have their schedules full. They're embracing life. They're living each moment to the fullest. Good for you. That's awesome. I know for most people, they have certain perceived situations they're in, whether it's financial, travel, wellness, this, that, the world. They can feel heavy at times. They're hypersensitive and they don't know how to handle all the flows going through them. So that's where angels come in. They can help expand your intuitive skills. You could be the number one person in the military in this particular department, compartmentalized skill set. But when it comes time to getting going, living in the big picture, that's where angels can step in and really help you let go and let the good times roll. They know your situation. They've been with you for every second of every moment, every breath of your life. Who better could do the advising? I don't know of a single organization out of 150,000 organizations that are all promising you the best service. I can't think of any of them that even remotely compare to 5 minutes with four angels, Jesus, Mary, Muhammad, Buddha, Kuan Yin, St. Francis, and so on. Even galactic figures turns out they're super nice, super loving, and there's many miracles to be had, but that's between you and them. Again, what will you allow for? I say allow for a little bit more fun. I like to tell dad jokes. I'll leave you with the dad joke here. Santa's reindeer, Blitzen, Dancer, just those two. You don't have to remember who they are. Why do they drink so much coffee? Answer, because they're Santa's Starbucks. And with that, I hope you all have a wonderful June. Thank you very much. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. And if you're shy, put an emoji in, and I'll put up Joy, angel, who's the very first angel I normally do. She's joy, the highest vibration of love and everything else. Leave your eyes on her. This photo can move and shift. You can hear bells, whistles, singing. If you want to close your eyes, she can bring pink light on your eyelids in a rippling fashion or one of a thousand other ways. Ask her, hey, Joy, what do I need to know in life right now? If you're super uptight about this or constricted or I'm not sure I can do this, you might hear your own voice just say breathe or relax, or she might come in strongly and say, you've got this. Just allow, 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 no triota. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good night.